Welcome back to America Right Now. I'm Tom Basile. As the Biden administration continues its open border policy, much of the discussion has rightly been focused on who is being harmed. The body count is rising, folks, whether it's from fentanyl deaths, criminal activity, or illegal immigrants dying in the process. Suburbanites are losing as the crisis spills out from sanctuary cities into their leafy neighborhoods. Every taxpayer is footing the bill for a massive expansion of welfare and government social programming. Everyone loses from the president's abdication of his responsibility to enforce the immigration laws and his party's encouragement of more illegals to flood across the border without material consequences. And the president doesn't seem to care a bit.
Just give me the power. I've asked for the very day I got in office. Give me the border patrol. Give me the people. Give me the people, the judges. Give me the people who can stop this and make it work rationally.
Democrats push for more voters and using illegals as justification to flood deep blue cities with federal cash to pay off their big union backers trump all of the other interests and concerns. But perhaps the biggest loser from the Democrats' love affair with illegals is going to be America's black community. It's an inconvenient truth worth larger recognition this Black History Month. Flooding the country with people from more than 100 other countries will mean further erosion of black political power in America. If Democrats continue to have their way at the border and get some measure of amnesty or fast-track citizenship on top of it, the impact to the black community will be catastrophic. Democrats have worked hard to keep black influence in check for more than a half-century now. First with the Great Society programs that expanded welfare dependency, and then with abortion, which has claimed the lives of more than 20 million black children since 1973. Now, they're being replaced by Democrats who need a much larger minority voting bloc to improve their electoral prospects well into the future. The erosion of black power in America should reveal for everyone the real intentions of leftists who talk big about things like equity and empowerment, but ultimately view racial groups as nothing more than a means to an end. Democrats can play the so-called black national anthem before the Super Bowl and defend a corrupt black president at Harvard and meet all of these DEI metrics. It's all part of a ploy to make white liberals and young people think Democrats actually care about the black community, while the party intentionally erases their relevance.
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
Black Americans make up about 13% of the overall American population. And in terms of raw data, the number of black eligible voters has increased steadily, but far more slowly than Asians and Hispanics. By 2050, Hispanics will outpace blacks as an overall share of the population by 16 points. And that's without some form of amnesty for the 9 million who have come across the border during Biden's term. Perhaps the more troubling sign for the black community is that according to Pew Research, just more than half of all eligible black voters live in either Georgia, Florida, New York, California, North Carolina, Maryland, and Illinois. Now, as populations shift and presidential politics require new strategies to win national elections, in 2024, all of those states are either reliably Democrat or reliably Republican, with Georgia and North Carolina likely going to be in the Republican column in November. That means that places where black voters used to run up the score for Democrats now matter far less than they used to. In battleground states like Arizona, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania, black voters in 2020 were only between 5 and 10% of the electorate. Democrats will continue to erase black political power even in the cities where they flex their biggest muscle as the left pushes non-citizen voting in city, state, and local elections. That effort is going to pick up steam in the years ahead. You watch. Illegals are flooding traditionally black neighborhoods in places like Chicago. Expect that to be a natural consequence of allowing millions of illegals into the country. To add insult to injury, it was America's first black president, Barack Obama, who, despite talking tough on the border, set the Democrat Party on the path to open borders with DACA, so-called dreamers, and changing the narrative on illegal immigration to make it more acceptable. Texas Governor Greg Abbott has bussed about 80,000 illegals into cities like New York and Washington and Chicago, but that's a mere fraction of the total known border crossers. The federal government won't release where the Biden administration is resettling illegals, but it doesn't take a lot of imagination to think that they are going to places that matter a lot more electorally. What makes you powerful in the blood sport of politics also isn't just the raw numbers at the ballot box, but also how you factor in the money game. In addition to not living in places that Democrats need to win, black voters aren't big financial contributors to the party either. Because of failed public school systems run by Democrat-aligned unions, failed housing and welfare policies that have sustained higher dependency rates, and persistent underemployment, black Americans are not increasing their financial relevance to the political system. Over time, Hispanic donors will outpace them in the money race as well. You know, there's a reason why today's Democrats and even many black leaders have abrogated Dr. Martin Luther King's axiom about valuing content of character over color of skin. A focus on building character leads to greater empowerment. An obsession with skin color, victimhood, white supremacy on the part of the left is intentional not for the purposes of promoting equality, but to hide their true motivations. They use vulnerable people to obtain power, and when it looks like they've outlived their usefulness, they're simply swapped out for another group to manipulate and take for granted. Folks, it's time black America take a set of bolt cutters to the Democratic Party.